favorites. Favorite seems to work. Looks like there's no weird visual issues, which is nice because when iOS 15 came out, um, Apple kind of redid how table views work, and I had a little bit of extra space on all of them. So that's nice. That's doesn't look like there's anything weird happening this year. Share still works. What's all this going on? Must be just simulator stuff. Image descriptor 4. Can do IO. Please adopt image for descriptor. I wonder if we can provide an image now. Let's see, can I copy paste this? No. um, Again, I'm not sure if this is a. Looks like the new beta finished downloading. Um, or finished extracting. So let's copy that over into applications. Type in an admin password. Let's try open up the other beta. Was in applications, Xcode beta 2. Let's go back to the other um, drops all this thing. There is though. Let's put this back burner. Okay, so what screen should we look at? Perhaps the all arrivals. Um, it was complicated to write in. Oh, this is the beta too. Okay, yeah, that's it, I guess. Closes applications. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we'll do that later, I guess. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, the all arrivals. This screen here, this two-column format was pretty complicated to write in UIKit with UI collection view, and so I'm really hoping that with Swift UI, this becomes much easier to write. Um, Currently, let me show the table view. I think it's called Arrivals collection view, yeah. Oh, I love this new feature where it'll highlight what you're currently in. Oh, that's so cool. So currently it's a collection view and it has its own custom layout to do have a 2-column format. Um, all kinds of computations. Um, Layout attributes, what side of the screen is supposed to be on. Let's see if we can rebuild this in SwiftUI. I guess for now we can have a subfolder here. Sometimes I really wish they didn't call it SwiftUI because UI is already a word we use a lot in code, and Swift is just the name of the language. Um, some people I see like tag their class names with like SUI for SwiftUI, and it just looks weird. Like Arrivals SUI view, like that's doesn't feel like a good name. Arrivals view. Let's see. So I guess first we can import SwiftUI. We can create the all arrivals view, which conforms to view. And I guess for now, let's just put a text. So that it compiles. And then let's see. I guess the first things first is to get this into the app. So perhaps instead of this collection view, um, we could replace that with this new view that we're building in SwiftUI. So if I build, I should get a whole bunch of the compiler will tell me where the problems are. So tell it to accept a view model. Tell it to scroll to a row, and that's it. Okay. I feel like we would want a kind of a controller that this would observe. It would have like an observed object. Something like that, maybe. And this would implement those methods and would be visible to the all arrivals controller, perhaps. Um, or alternatively, um, One approach would be with the controller. Another approach could be that this gets initialized with a station ID. We need our shared application library. It could initialize with a station ID, and it would load itself from the database. And I guess this idea makes it a little bit more reusable, actually. So I'm kind of curious to try this approach. I guess the only thing missing would be that scroll to. And when backend call. That only gets called when there's a connection at the station. I guess we're not implementing that right now, so we can come back to that later. And I bet that it's called when so there's a function in the view to go back to it, and yeah, it'll scroll down to a connection. So let's see. Show that. Look on a station, and that little scroll there for the connection. That's what this scroll if needed. At the collection view, this maybe this could be called the arrivals at station view, or even just trains at station view. Like move away from this idea of it arrivals, because those are in fact trains that are arriving. But I've always called it arrivals in the app. Station view, station arrivals view. I guess when rebuilding is an opportunity to rethink the names that we've called things. Let's see, so this is so this could work, but how and I'm sort of thinking ahead of how this would work, but I guess the thing that we need to know about going in this direction fully is how the caller of this is going to react. We can comment out those two because we're gonna solve that in the view for sure. How do we get the station ID to that view? So for example, if we have a we can call that station arrivals view. That would be a UI hosting controller of a station arrivals view. That needs an underway station ID. We could hard code a 3, or whatever. What does this need? Import source. Oh, thanks. Cute. So we could put a 3 there, but how do we get the actual? What's the flow of the data here? I guess eventually this will all be, hopefully, all in SwiftUI, and so the flow of data will be easier to reason about. But while we're in sort of this hybrid state, we do need to think a little bit about it. So I wonder if for now, let's move this back to a protocol. We just add it as an item on the arrivals output. We can ask for the station ID. Then if we do that, we can get it right off of the presenter. Alternatively, one approach. Alternatively, perhaps when the wireframe gets created, you could pass it into the view controller on init. Which will be closer to how SwiftUI might work. So like we could say underway station ID here. And I think I kind of like that approach. It's less circuitous. Um, this is current location. Right. So then we can create an initializer for our all arrivals view controller. Let's see, maybe between all the views and view did load, we'll put the init. And we'll need to have a property to store that data in. And also, we're about to get a fix it. Yes, for this, do Xcode. Whenever overriding something from UIKit, they want this. So I don't like it, but I guess it's fine. And then when we come down to the station arrivals view, instead of getting the station ID from the presenter, we have it directly on the view controller. So we can say it. Give me the underway station ID. Right, so then here's the subviews of the view controller. So you can say this is the station arrivals view. Oh, so here we say view.auto layout. super.init was not called on all paths. Okay, so let's call super.init, do Xcode. Now if we go to the all arrival screen, we we see our little SwiftUI view there, and we have a really big alert section, which is kind of funny. Um, okay, progress, a little bit out of the time, right? I guess we can update our task. Is that yes, this is part of iOS 16 prep, um, but it's I guess that's the we can say converting iOS the arrival screen to Swift UI. No, it kind of goes off screen a little bit. ITLX says, "Hello, please tell me how long it takes to learn iOS Dev. Get your first freelancing order." Oh, thanks so much for the follow. Follower number 102. It's fun counting now that we're over 100. Um, please tell me how long it takes to learn iOS Dev. It's taken me all my life. I'm not sure exactly how to answer that question. There are like bootcamp schools you can go to. You can watch my stream or other YouTubers. It really depends on how fast you learn and how good your connections are to get freelancing. You kind of have two questions in there: one about learning dev and one about learning marketing. Um, I wouldn't call myself a professional marketer. How long it takes to learn dev? I mean, is there something in particular that you want to learn? Okay, so while we wait for their response, put something more substantial in here. If I put a VStack in, um, I think to start learning all this, but it's also complicated. That's 100% true. It is complicated. Um, Learning a little bit every day, uh, learning a lot some days and nothing on other days. Slow and steady wins the race. 100%. Are you familiar with other programming languages? I guess the coming back to here, I guess the grid. No, I don't. Oh, cool. That's so cool. That's so cool. You're interested in learning something that you know nothing about. Mad respect. I think there was a new grid in iOS 16. At the first select area, what is interesting to you? Backend development, role development, game dev, maybe DevOps? Absolutely, 100%. I 100% agree with Dev for Fun. Selecting what's interesting to you um, is what's best. That's going to feel the best to you because you're interested in it. It's going to help drive your interest. Yeah, just follow tutorials, look up stuff on Stack Overflow. Um, I mean, I guess the one way to get started is you go to developer.apple.com/xcode. Hit that little download button right there. How do I know what I like? Just try. Oh man, this guy's on fire. Or this Dev for Fun is on fire. I 100% agree. Just try. Um, they listed four different things. Three. Uh, uh, you could try for 1 week backend development. You could try for 1 week mobile development. Try for 1 week the other things, and see which one you have energy for after your trial period. Because even those four topics are huge topics. Um, like I don't do game dev. Maybe you can give me a good guide for iOS dev. Yeah, I wish I had one. Um, this question keeps coming around, huh? Um, let's see. I think Tunes dev. Tunde Tunde dev. What's his name? Oh, that's not his name. I recommended this guy yesterday. Uh, Tunde Dev Swift. Oh, it's so close. No E. Um, I think this guy's pretty interesting. He has a YouTube channel with a whole lot of videos specifically for teaching. Learn Swift UI for free. He's made a ton of videos. He got an award recently for his videos. Um, there's a whole beginner section here. And I can drop that link in the chat for your copy paste convenience. And of course, feel free to hit me up with any questions you have. I'm more focused on the live stuff. I don't have the patience for editing long videos. Just want to make stuff and share that and answer questions live. Probably if you can't do program at all, it's better to learn basic of development. And yeah, I think Swift and Swift UI are both fantastic. Fantastic ideas for that. There's never been a better time to get started than today. The only time better to get started than today was yesterday. Um, it's a better time to get started than tomorrow. What is the best way to study, learn to read according to theory, or start right away with practice? That's a great question, and I don't think it's a one size fits all. I think people learn differently, and someone will tell you, "This is how I learned it, and this is the way. This is the best way to practice. If you don't do this, you're not a good person." And I just don't believe that. Some people learn by reading. Some people learn by um, doing. Some people do learn best with a mix of both. Um, the way I learn is I do a bunch of reading and I let it sit, and then it doesn't make sense. So I let it sit and I come back in like a month, and then like, oh, the second time through, I get it. Yeah, if you want a suggestion, I would again agree with Dev for Fun. Practice first, let your fingers do the learning. Um, yeah, I mean, even we could go to like we could make a new project in Xcode. Click next. You say put your name in for the name of the project. Click next. Save it to your desktop. Let's go spin for a little bit. And then you have a working app. This hello world. You can put your name in here instead. You can see it updates in real time when we change this text. This is a string. String is, you can see it's color coded in red by default for Xcode. Just a bunch of letters that you would see on a screen. And we're wrapping it inside of a text, show it onto the screen. And then we also have an image here. There's a few built-in images in Swift UI, like globe, um, heart, circle, there's filled circle. Um, and then what? And then you might, maybe you'll have like a button. um, and the label of the button will be perhaps another text. Tap this button can be the label of it. And why write code if there's a Swift UI? Well, this is code. Code is a precise definition of something the computer, if you want the computer to do. Pseudocode is an imprecise definition of what you want a computer to do. What could we have this button do? We could have it change the color of the circle. Thanks for answers. So you could have the color, which is currently the accent color. We could have it instead be color that gets set by a variable. So you can start it off as saying the color is red, and when we tap the button, we could say circle color is green. Then we can tap it, and the color changes. We could have a list of colors. Show some loop 2, please. iOS dev harder than front end. Everything is hard and everything is easy. Everything has something that's difficult about it, and everything has something that's easy about it too. Um, and just like that for fun is said, iOS is in fact a front end. It's not on a server. On a server would be backend. Uh, Front end is the UI that a customer or a user uses. So often that's a website or an iOS app or an Android app. Um, or also a TV app or a watch app. Do we have a random? Let's see. Front end dev says show a loop. Sure. So instead of a button, we can have a loop. So in Swift UI, that's for each. Loop through the colors. And maybe we'll have like a rectangle with the foreground color of the color. And we can hit the little refresh button. Oh, what's this? Print initializer and for each requires that color conform to identifiable. So this error is saying that these don't necessarily have their identity. But we can provide an ID to it. We can say get the hash value of that color and use that as the ID. Because SwiftUI needs everything to have an ID so it can animate changes. So you can see we have our list of colors, red, purple, pink, and we have it's all in the same vertical stack. We have image and the text. Then we have a couple rectangles. Maybe they're a little big. We can limit the size of them with the frame modifier. And there it is. I mean, we want everything sort of pushed to the top, so you can have a spacer that'll fill up all the space. Have some padding. Yeah, the combinations are limitless, if you will. Um, Let me know if you have further questions. Again, I would say the best way to get started would be just download Xcode 14 from I'll put the link in the chat, developer.apple.com/xcode. Download button right at the top. And get started for free. And start typing away. The only limit is yourself, or something inspirational like that. So because I'm using a new, what is the best guide for Swift? I would recommend once again TunesDev. who I was highlighting earlier. Um, his YouTube channel has lots of videos. To get started, what is your experience as a programmer? Oh, thank you for the question. Um, this video about Swift UI. I've been programming professionally for 15 years, since 2007. I've done backend development with Ruby and Java, Python, and Swift. I've done front end development with JavaScript and Objective C and Swift and Kotlin and JavaScript. Did I say that? With React and Vue. Um, and I guess my favorite is Swift. When Apple announced it, I kind of knew it would be my favorite language, and it was. I really like the semantics of the language. I feel like it really lets me express things the way I would want to express things in code, and it's a strongly typed language, which I like. Um, I think the types communicate something back to me when I'm trying to remember what something is. Um, and I really appreciate that. Um, I've worked for consulting companies. I've freelanced. I have worked as an employee. Um, yeah, I've done a lot. I've done a lot of programming, and more than happy to help with any questions you have. I guess I'm kind of curious to try out perhaps like tutoring on stream. Can you tell me what the salary you have? Um, I currently don't have a salary. I'm doing this full time, so very no salary right now. Just the ad money and the bits and subscriptions right now. So any support is deeply appreciated, but of course not required. Right. So because I was using an iOS 16 only feature, um, let's see, how do we want to do one or the other in the original view if they don't have iOS 16 yet? Um, I guess one approach is to say that this is a branch, just do this on a branch and not worry about that. Set the um, set the minimum target to iOS 16. Um, yeah, let's go to Git. Uh, let's create a branch. Oops, I'm on the screenshots branch. Oh boy. Okay, well, I'll sort that out later. And then we can, now that we're on a branch, we can set the minimum iOS to 16. and rebuild. This should work. Okay, so we're building again, and let's see. We have our grid view, so this is going to be potentially. I would like to think, two arrival cells per row. For now, let's put two texts. Say, a train arriving in 1 minute, 1 minute. Maybe a train arriving in 12 minutes. Um, make a bunch of these, I guess. Okay, so we have kind of a grid. Um, let's see. I guess I'm kind of curious to uh, really space it out the way we have um, in the UIKit version of this. Yeah, so let's extract a cell, perhaps like an arrival cell. See, so this will have a timestamp on it, perhaps. And we can have a date style, perhaps relative. Um, yeah, I guess that's fine just to get started. Okay, and then let's see if we can set the frame of this. I think if we say max width of uh, infinity, it'll take up as much space as possible. I also want to put a height. I want to make sure that the height is ideal height is AB44, the normal tap size in iOS. Oh, it's like it's live updating. That's kind of cool. It's a little distracting, but cool. But the alignment is not quite right. Let's see, we want our text alignment. guess we could put this inside of a VStack and say that it's leading. Will that do? It's still kind of center aligned, huh? Maybe it's something on grid row. Again, I'm just learning here. This new API that was just came out. It's not even out yet. It's still in beta. Um, oh, so a grid row does have. Oh, has a vertical alignment, not a sideways alignment. Let's see, perhaps grid does. Hider. Prevent a flexible view from taking up more space on a given axis. A. Oh, a grid does have alignment. Large grid that appears inside a scroll view. Consider switching to lazy vgrid. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe this is a lazy vgrid. Switch to lazy grid only if profile in your code shows a worthwhile performance improvement. Okay, so we can try staying with this grid a little bit longer. Let's see. Alignment. See what alignment options do we have. We do have leading. There top leading? There is. Okay, let's try this. No, it's still not left aligned. I wonder if I can make a preview for this view to get faster feedback. I think there's a yes, little autocomplete helper. So this would be station rivals view previews. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. And then this takes a station ID. So let's Times Square in there, which I know is 25. And let's build. Come on, Monica. Oh, we got an error. Only available. Okay. Didn't I set it the I set the project level to be um iOS 16? Guess I should check on that, huh? I mean, we're on this target, so it's a little surprising. paused. Were there build errors? Let's try command B building. Succeeded. Okay, that's a good start. Now let's try to get the preview to build. Failed to build. What is the problem? Only available in iOS 16 or newer. But we're on alpha target. Okay, well let's update all the targets to be iOS 16, I guess. Okay. So these don't have oh, do. Again, we're on a branch, so this is totally fine to do. Okay, let's try that again. Failed to build scheme. Um, yeah, I guess previews for larger apps, or I don't know why. This will work for new apps I do, but then when I try to do it on older app, the previews are just a little bit fussy. So yeah, I guess let's stop that. And let's here only. Let's go back to the simulator. Okay, so top leading didn't seem to do anything actually. Let's see, put an alignment on this. Now, this is just top or center. This is vertical alignment. Let's try putting a spacer at the end. Oh, here we go. We were able to force it by putting a spacer. None of this leading stuff did anything, unfortunately. So then we do want a little bit of padding. How much padding? I think I have a margin. I have a margin enum that I use. With that space, I meant margin. Margin dot standard dot cg. Oh, and that should be just horizontal. Well, built. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll put it in as horizontal. Yeah, quite a bit of spacing. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's see, can we put this inside of a scroll view? Okay, pretty spaced out. Um, okay, so a few things. Oh, that's interesting. The scroll view is only so high. This alerts thing is really expanding itself. Huh. I guess if we move the more of the screen towards SwiftUI, it'll sort itself out better. Let's see, what if we put in a few more rows? What's the behavior? Just put in a bunch of basically random data. Okay, as more data comes in, it does push the alerts part of it down. So that's a good sign. Um, okay, so we start trying to hit the database. Um, let's see, we have this new task thing in iOS 15. We can get the API client is what's responsible for loading the subway times from our server. We can get station arrivals for the station ID since, and then for testing, I don't put in now current date. I use an indirection. I have a date provider that I use. And for now, we're not doing filtering on this view. We're just trying to get everything else in place. And then this is a type of station arrivals. I guess we can have an at state of these station arrivals. And I guess we can default it to nil, like it hasn't loaded yet. It can be nil. See how that goes. Change it if we need. Here we just say self dot station arrivals equals. And I guess let's update the spacing here. Okay, this is going smoothly, it seems. Kind of surprisingly. Um, let's see. Let's try to build this grid from the station arrivals. What does the station arrivals look like? So there's it's a dictionary of display sides to arrivals. I guess let's see. For each, what's this going to be? Is this going to be a range of 0 station arrivals dot max arrival count? And yeah, this can be a computed variable just for readability's sake. So if it's nil, we'll say that there's 0. Otherwise, we're going to go through from 0 to the max arrival count, and we want to make a row and then we're going to have 2 of these arrival cells. Non-constant range must be an integer. That does have that warning, but I know that I can get around it by saying that the ID to use is .self, I believe. Cool, so that warning went away. So we want 2 arrival cells. None of these filler arrival cells for now. And again, that's so nice that Swift UI lets you just have filler data that easily. You just put it in, and when you're done, take it out. So we'll ask the station arrivals dot arrivals, and then we want to go to, this will be the left side, and then we want to index into that array at the index, right? I think I have a safe indexer, which will return nil. Must be unwrapped. Oh, it's saying this needs a question mark there. Use dot notation. You confusing me. Although I guess one thing I'm noticing is that this is still a timestamp, which is a date. We could convert it to be. We could take an arrival, which could be a maybe arrival, and then the text could be I mean, I guess this could be computed variable timestamp text, I guess. So we're going to be doing our own formatting, which we're going to do anyway. And here this can be arrival dot. And this is the view model I was expecting, so we'll probably want to change that. But if it's nil, we'll return, I guess, just a dash. That's what we do in the live app right now. Otherwise, we'll return, I think I have a date formatter somewhere. An alert formatter. Let me see. I guess I could check my current arrival cell. Well, we're getting a little far afield. Let's try to stay. We can return something like this for now. Just always 4 minutes. Um, right now we're still trying to unwrap the arrival from the all arrivals model that comes from our database. Let's see, so now we should the compiler should be able to give us a much better error now because we're accepting maybe arrival on arrival cell. Let's see what the error is. Must be unwrapped. Okay. Succeeded. Okay. And I can show you what this. Oh, it's not letting me command click into. I think it's in a file called array subscript safe. Yeah, so I made an extension on array where I say safe, and it checks the index, and if an index is out of bounds, it returns nil. And that's really nice for situations like this where it's this long baby string, it all just kind of works out syntax wise. Okay, so we are still just saying 4 minutes for each arrival. Let's see what we get. A whole lot of nothing. Okay. We got a little bit of a stack trace. This is exciting. This is what is it saying? All this libs dispatch stuff. This is like so obtuse. I understand what it's trying to say. The element release. I mean, I get arrivals here. Makes a bunch of calls. But maybe this needs to be like on a peer instead of task because I think this is a synchronous function. Yeah. Um, or I guess we could try wrapping a task. I'm not sure. Let's start with on a peer. Oh, 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 no, I know what it is. I think, yeah, so because we're in a task, we're in an asynchronous context. So I can't just write to station arrivals from an asynchronous context. have to save the arrivals to a variable and then hop back over to the main actor. And then I can say station arrivals equals station arrivals. Still a whole lot of nothing. So maybe that wasn't it. Looks like this is a GRDB pull error that's been released. That doesn't make sense. Sync helper. Yeah, let's try on up here. Because we're not in asynchronous context anymore, I think we can just kind of call it. Again, just trying to get this to work. Then we'll figure out exactly how to do it on a background thread. Okay, so we're not on a background thread, we're synchronous, and we're still getting this kind of weird error. I wonder if we need to update GRDB. I wonder if there's something new in iOS 16. Let's check out GRDB's website. See if there's been any updates. GRDB is the SQLite wrapper that I am totally in love with. I like it so much better than Core Data. Been maintaining it for a long time, and I've been using it for a long time. It's a really nice piece of software. Latest release, changelog. See if there's anything about iOS 16 in here. So there is at least this little bit for iOS 14, for Xcode 14, which is with iOS 16. Okay, well let's still try to update. It might be a few versions back. Um, we can say Swift UI for all arrivals work in progress. Um, I guess this is probably a good time to try to resolve this Git branches a little bit. We'll pop the trunk. We don't need the screenshots branch anymore. And then what I want to do is I want to base or yeah, let's try base. I want mine for all of them. Using my version. Oh my goodness. Look at all this business. Ah. Okay, abort. Let's try just merging. Okay, yeah, and that's expected. I knew there's going to be a merge conflict in the project. So let's just regenerate the project. Um, Cool. So now that that's sorted out, let's update the pod file. Um, let's see. I'm going to open up project directly. So we have multiple versions of Xcode installed. I want to make sure that the right one opens. We are on the Xcode beta. Then where is the pod? Yeah, I'm not specifying a version number, so let's can I bundle update? Yeah, can I bundle update? Password. Oh my. Can I just bundle? Okay. So bundle exec pod update. Still using a little bit of CocoaPods. Xcode sometimes freaks out when I update pods, so let's just restart, reopen that project. Have to iOS 16 again, and let's run. See if we still get the same error. I'm not sure that was going to fix anything regarding our dispatch lib errors. We'll rule out some errors. Let's see, rivals. I guess we could. Um, well, I guess it loaded. Let's see what error we get. No error, but also no arrivals either. Okay, we can try using dispatch queue. Cycle inside of Alamo Fire. Oh my goodness. I think we need to clear our derived data. Where's the derived? Yeah, I should make a shortcut for this. So for those of you new to iOS development, sometimes you got to clear the derived data when too many files change, or for whatever reason, Xcode cannot keep up with what's going on. Sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. Missing package project. That's weird. Why did this disappear? Was it was it relying on the? Let's see, it opened. Why are we opening the project? Where's Xcode? So open recent. Yeah, so just restarting Xcode made the package dependency come back. And while that builds, I'm going to get some water. Oh, perfect. It just finished building. Perfect timing. And we're getting nothing now. So no error and no arrivals. Worst of both worlds. Maybe we'll try this task approach again. At least we're getting an error there. Comment out this on up here. Oh, did I mess up my curly braces? Ah, so still no error. What the? So confused. Like, we have arrivals here. The feed is loaded. Come here, and then there's a whole lot of nothing. Guess we could put some breakpoints in. Okay, so we get here, and then what happens when we make this call? It's a little confused by the formatting. Let's just play, and that should get us to this next one. Okay, so we have a loaded station arrivals. We have 103 on the left side, 107 arrivals on the right side. Have stuff. Oh, it's because it doesn't recognize a change in station arrivals? Right, because this is not identifiable. Oh, right. Because the way SwiftUI recognizes that something's changed, it uses the ID of something. Whoa. Okay. So I guess we could make this conform to identifiable. We can just create put an ID on there every time. Just come using the current timestamp as the ID. The technique I've used on other apps to like as time moves along, it's just every reload is a new item. Okay, so hit this breakpoint, hit this breakpoint, play through. Hey, we got some stuff. Yeah, so it was missing identifiable. Okay. So far, this is looking like very nice. Um, like a scroll view with a grid. Each grid has a row, two arrival cells, left side or the right side, and it's either and the cell is responsible for displaying it. That's so much more readable than UIKit. Like like unspeakably more readable. Um, I scroll down to the way end. Yeah, and I get those dashes for when one side has a timestamp and the other side doesn't. Man, that is great. Okay. Um, let's commit that. All right, so this was the update. Updated our pods. Update pods and show that we didn't like we're loading the arrivals from the database. We're not like showing the arrivals. We just show that they're loaded. We haven't really formatted it yet. Let's see. So I guess the next thing is to format. Let's see if I can find that formatter. Okay, so currently we have an arrivals. Oh, yes, arrival cell. There's also our collection view from UIKit. This is what we're replacing. Um, where is the cell? Wow, this is such old code. I don't write code like this anymore. Had to sell protocol, man. That's so fascinating. Where is our formatter? It's here. Um, Man, this is such old code. Um, what's the year on this? 2017. 5-year old code. Um, it's kind of cool though, just seeing how much I've grown over the last 5 years just in building this app. Oh, interesting. So maybe I should be using this arrival view model. It starts to look a little funkier. That's true. But I guess I'm hoping that this will sort of collapse once we do some cleanup in there. Like the API client can perhaps return arrival view models instead of these decorated arrivals, which have way more data on them than we actually need. Let's see, so what does it have on it? Let's take a look. Well, it's in this file here. Oh, right, I have to do a switch. Let's see, so I can switch and then have like 4 different subviews. That's one approach. And I think I kind of like that approach. So if it's empty, um, we have a empty value that we can show. Um, I guess empty or null, it's going to be the same. We can have an actual arrival. This is when a train is present, and that's going to be basically what we had before. And here we can reach for the formatter. Oh, it's formatted for us already. Okay. And then sometimes the MTA closes the station and we have a we represent that also. It's a do we say where is the all right, it's based on the style. Um, yeah, I made these enums to help reuse this code, um, formatting code in other parts of the app. I think that's something we can bring forward with us as we convert to Swift UI. Of course, we can set the colors. This is going to be primary text. This is going to be detail text. No exact matches to initializer. Um, oh, it's still a time interval. I think I realized that. Oh, it's just a time interval. It's not the actual string. Okay. So where do we do that formatting? Time interval style dot format, of course. Cannot convert type UI color. Okay, so I think we can just wrap it in a Swift UI color, and perhaps we need to say UI color here. Tyler will tell us for sure. And use argument label. Okay. Then we can wrap this all in a group. Missing parameters, right. Right, so here I think we can use a helper function. Because this is starting to get really funky. Um, See, do we want to return the view model here or the actual view? I'm thinking the view. This is going to be the default time interval style. This is the main view of the app. Same thing for the close style. We show close in a few different ways depending on which view you are in the app. And then here, this becomes arrival cell for side, left at index, and the right side. And then that sort of hides all the complexity inside of this function here. Get anything again. How did we actually fix this last time? Oh, yeah, it was something about the identity, right? We got the identity to change, and then it redrew. Let's see, let's put a breakpoint in. We're getting here, getting this, getting some arrivals, getting plenty of arrivals. That's not the problem. Maybe there's nothing in here that reads off the state directly, so it's gets confused or something. So I could try to inline this. That wasn't it either. Um, Maybe these cells need some kind of ID on them. Let's see. So this arriving thing. Let's see. We can try making this identifiable. Those are always going to look the same. Those have the same ID. Same thing with empty. And then for arriving, this should be the arrival ID. Means we'll need to get an arrival ID. which I believe is a string. So we can say return arriving dot e. Then when we create this, we can pass in the ID. And I think I need one more close paren. Let's see. Extra argument. Um, oh, the type is arrival ID. Okay, perfect. Wow, nothing. I guess last time it was working. Um, I guess we could like slowly walk backwards. Nothing. Let's see, what if we don't make it nil? What if we set it to be empty? I guess removes some of these optionals. Kind of weird. See, so what changes did we make from when we were last working on this? We made this identifiable. Okay. We made the arrival cell take an arrival view model. We put this switch in. Hmm. Let's see. We make this not optional because if it's nil, we should just return empty. Um, it failed, but it's not giving me the error. Just command fail. Absolutely beautiful. Um, no build failure. So somewhere in here, yes, so someone found that changed. Um, yeah, that should work because this always succeeds. It'll succeed. Okay, we figured it out without Xcode's help. Still not getting. Still not getting. What if we make this a V stack instead of a group? That help? Doesn't. You're acting weird, Xcode. Okay, let's commit and like really try to figure this out. Guess we refactored, but now nothing showing on screen. Okay, so instead of showing, let's just show some text. Just show the index. Does this work? That doesn't even work. Oh my goodness. Again, that must mean that this at state isn't triggering. Does this need to also be equatable? So I guess we can see it's nothing about the way we were constructing the views. There's something else at a deeper level. Like we can't even print the index that's coming through. So exciting. What are we going to learn? So it wasn't equatable. What if we use an UUID instead of a date? Like maybe for date, it like happens to be the exact same date. What is going on? Let's see. On change of. Um, so let's see if I'm guessing that this is not going to fire, and that's because part of the problem of why it's not redrawing. But let's see, I guess. Oh, is it because we're inside of a scroll view? Oh, we did get a change. So this is all on the grid. So I bet it's not redrawing or something. I think the dot task has to be on the scroll view, not a component of the scroll view, because otherwise. Oh, but it was firing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we got this gets called. Why is that not triggering a redraw? Huh? You didn't print the max arrival count. At 118 arrivals. There's something there. Why aren't you showing up on screen? So what if we don't passively compute it? What if we kind of actively set it? Yeah. Again, recognize that a change is happening, but it's not updating you. What if we what if we only update the max arrival count? Because we're just looping and showing some numbers. Coming out this for now. Went out this for now. What? We start off at 2. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so what is the max arrival count on this? 119. We play through. That's not 119 things. That's still just 2. This is so strange. Very, very strange. This should change, and then it should draw. Doing it on the main thread. No errors. You're not redrawing, dude. Oh, it is. It's in a. Wow. It's in a little scroll view. It's in the world's tiniest scroll view. Oh my goodness. Whoa. So was the view just like super tiny? Was this working this whole time? Let's uncomment all that stuff. Um, let's look at the view debugger. Oh my goodness. I bet it's going to be the world's tiniest little view. Or not. Is this? So I think, yeah, it's about the height of the view. It's not about the content inside. Wow. Okay, so I think I have a solution for this. It's something we wrote recently on the feature we were just working on. um, last week, we have a self-sizing SwiftUI hosting view. Let's see if we can try using that here. That was on the filter station screen, station filter screen. Yeah, we have this height adjusting hosting view. Let's go to our all arrivals view controller. Introducing hosting controller directly. We'll say height adjusting hosting view. The root view will be the same station arrivals view. And then what else do we need to do? Right, so inside we can grab the hosted height did change as exemplified in our, I'm sorry, this was a SwiftUI view. We can grab that from the environment. And when it changes, we can call it. There we go. There we go. And it's clobbering the entire screen. There's no toolbar. There's no title. But it's working. I mean, we can see that stuff is coming through. I mean, sure if working is the right word. So now if you look at the view debugger, where is the tool? Because we still had the direction headers as well. Oh, we have a. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess because I'm setting the height to be so large. Okay, so I'm setting the height to be. So I think what's happening is I'm setting the height. One more time. I think what's happening is when this view measures its height, because there's so many arrivals, it's an extremely large height, obviously taller than the size of the iPhone. So what's happening is that really large height is overriding the heights of all the other views, and we get an auto layout error saying this does not work. Yeah, it's It's having problems with all of these, unable to simultaneously satisfy all constraints. Yes, it's exactly what I think is happening. And it's all these heights. Yes, it's having problems in the height direction. Right. So I don't think I actually want to resize it when the height changes. I think I just want this to have all the remaining height. Um, and how do we do that? Um, let's see. Like, how do I give something all the remaining space in UIKit? I mean, I guess another option is to just like carry all this stuff to Swift UI and manage it all inside of there. But I really want to try to do things sort of one at a time. Let's see if we can make a height constraint for it. Maybe that'll help us. So this will be station arrivals view dot greater than or equal to constant s50. Like it's saying to be exactly 50. Ugh. Maybe it's the height of this alerts thing that's freaking us out. And on the plus side, all the other views came back. How big this alerts title part is. What are you doing? We can try to constrain it ourselves. Oh, but it's something that either has 0 or more height, right? Um, I think we need to set the title Yeah, to have sort of a specific height. I'll set to be 44 for now, and we can always fine tune that. This will just give us information about if this is the right direction to move in or not. Hey, I think this is promising. And then if we go to a station with no alerts, where's the alert? Nothing going wrong on the G. Let's go to a station on the G. Yeah, it disappears as expected. Um, what else? ACE has nothing going on. Station on the ACE. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Go back to a station with an alerts. I guess 456 is going express to local right now. There's some alerts, and let's see if we can. Let's look at the view debugger. Yeah, so that's 44 high. We can definitely shrink that in a little bit. What is the height of the header label? Font size is 1.4 times the system font size, so it could kind of be anything. So maybe instead of setting a height constraint, perhaps we could say something like title dot set content plugin priority default high for vertical. If we set it to low, and we get that business. Okay, the default high seems exactly what we want. We don't need to set a precise number of pixels for the title. Fantastic. We do want auto layout to take care of laying it out automatically. Sounds like we got the exact right thing to do it. We don't have to do this height adjusting thing anymore. And I think we don't need this one either. We can set that to be opposite of what we said for the title. We really want this to take up all the extra space. Okay. Very nice. Let's commit that. We might be able to undo this actually. But let's commit and then fuss with it. point of committing, so we have something to fall back to when we mess something up a little too much. Yeah, let's go ahead and publish that branch now. Is getting there. It is getting us there. Let's see. We're saying maybe that station arrivals does not need to be equatable. Doesn't really make sense for it to be equatable anyway. Failed. I think I know exactly where it's going to be. Xcode somehow doesn't. I believe that it is on our rivals view. No, we don't need the hosted height to change anymore. We're not listening to an on change anymore, actually. All working. Okay, so we can commit a little bit of cleanup. Let's see. So what's next? Could put in the, we could format the cells a little bit nicer. For example, we could use the correct font. I think we have a fonts.rivals font. And not convert UI font to type font. Can I wrap it in a font? Will that do? Cool. We got that Futura coming through. We got a little bit extra spacing, which is a little surprising, but we can come back to that. Now let's put in that badge. So this is going to be UI image. We have our badges helper, and this is going to be, I think, the content size. Driving dot. Oh, this doesn't have the route itself on it. Interesting. Just the route color. Okay, that needs to, that needs to change. Arrival view model needs the actual route. That should yes. So this will be route dot badge color. and a little nicer. And then what? I guess we're missing the chevron, and I guess we have a set amount of space for the time so that I think it's like 20 or something, just so that it all lines up nicely. So it's not 20. I guess I can look at our arrival cell in UIKit. This one. Let's look at the interval label. Put the constraints on this. C, Command F, Command V, Command G. $60. We set it to 60. This is looking good. I think the spacing is a little off. Actually, kind of matches what I would expect from live. I guess I wanted to make sure it was like big enough for your fingers to tap it. Let's put in that chevron. I think this is on our UW image dot chevron. I don't remember if I need to put a color on that. Look at the arrival cell. Pretty basic. And all this code in UIKit just disappears. Let's see, it seems like 60 is not the right number though. Oh, I need to set the text alignment, right? Will that do it? No, the min is well, I guess one thing I could do is be a little bit sneaky here. I can do an H stack, make the frame of that 60, and then put a spacer in front. guess it's not that sneaky. It's just a little circuitous. There we go. You know, all the way up to 77 minutes without any alignment issues. Absolutely beautiful. And is it the right color? Let's open our color sync. Little color meter, sure. Oh, it's like so skinny. I guess, is this a different color than the text? I guess that's what I want to confirm. Like it's darkest it gets is 130, and the darkest this gets is 59. So it is two different colors. Perfect. Dang, how long was that? Like we did a viewer question, and uh, we got a couple of weird false starts, but like this this looks just like live. See, let's commit and let's try to do a more precise compare and contrast. Um, what did we do? Chevron. I just need to make it tappable. Let's see, RI view controller. Comment out this one. Oh, is this a slightly bigger size? Yes, it's using the header size. Okay. So we can do a screenshot there, and then we can swap back to the Swift UI version. Take a screenshot, and we can open up Kaleidoscope. I guess it's going to be split two different times. Oof. Maybe we'll just do it visually. Go to the desktop, open up both of these. Which one's the later one? This is the later one. This looks like the SwiftUI one is a little bit more spaced out. I feel like it comes in a pixel too. I don't know if that's just an illusion. This comes out to the left a little bit, and then this one. Oh, they both kind of do that, I guess. This is a bit of a problem here, though. R is not aligned to the left. Let's see, so what can we do about that? We have a spacer at the end. I guess it's this padding. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it is. So don't put the padding on the cell. Try putting the padding on the grid. Now it's whew, now it's too much over, huh? Um, interesting. Let's see, how did I solve this back in UI kit? I did use the standard standard margin. I wonder. Oh, standard margin -1. So random. Um, we put that back there. I guess so we could say -1 like we did in UI kit. See if that helps. Yeah, and it's got to be longer, more than one. Let's see. Let's look at the constraints for this directions label view. So from the center, go over by one standard margin, and same thing for the left side label. Interesting. Um, what is it? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what is it? So we were trying to figure out where this extra space was coming from so that we could properly line up our views. Um, I wonder if we can maybe set these to be headers inside of the grid. Like, does a grid take pinned views, I guess, is my question. I wonder if it's the spacing or something. Oh, looks like there's see. Let's Google for this. SwiftUI Grid, pinned views. These are all old things. So if I use this, I don't have to require iOS 16. I guess iOS 15 still needs the task, which is how we're loading the data. Let's see, pinned. Yeah, let's look for this in the documentation. How do I use it? Maybe I say something like, um, oh, this is quiet. Hop ahead to the next song. Uh, First, before you dive into this, what changes do we have? This change I do want to keep. Um, then this I'm not sure about. This we're um, yeah, this is fine too. Collection view. Okay. Um, if we do something like this, we'll just like do two texts for now. And then can we say let's look at the let's look at the example. Takes an array of pinned views for section headers. This is not what I would have expected. Yeah, that's doesn't seem like what I would want at all. Let's look more into this. It's grid documentation. Hmm. Um, it's kind of like a header, but I'm not convinced that it would stay pinned, I guess. Let's see, nothing about pinned, nothing about headers. Make a cell span specific number of columns. I guess I can try setting these to 0. Still don't see anything about a header. Let's see. I have to remove this -1. Yeah, those A and B's, those aren't headers at all. Let's just roll away. Um, on the bright side, though, it is looking a little bit more aligned up. Now, there's got to be some way to do this. I don't think that's the one I'm looking for. I guess if I convert the other view to SwiftUI as well, um, I just want the two grids to like be in harmony with each other, I guess. been pretty good. Um, cell spacing is what we did. Okay, so let's take some new screenshots. Let's label them this time so it's a little bit easier to recognize. Yeah, so that's the SwiftUI one. This is UI kit and SwiftUI. Let's open both of these together. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Okay. Spacing is just so much better here. And I guess that -1 kind of does come into play because it yeah, you don't actually want that line there. So let's use this as a ruler. Uh, you do want it to stick out a little bit uh, this way. Let's see, what was the height that we put on this? 44. Okay. Oh, because then there's padding outside. Oh, okay. No, that's fine, right? I want more offset. Um, I guess there's a little bit more spacing in between the arrival time and the chevron. Let's see, where is the chevron in all of this? What's this regular constraints? 6 after. Okay. Not sure that did anything. Let's put it as 20 to like really see that something's coming through. Okay, so yes, something is coming through. Um, let's see, let's switch playlists again. Kind of amazing what how much stuff there is in this little view. And it's four in between that one. Okay. Do I want more space there? See, I feel like I copy pasted the width from UIKit, and it's still like getting so much more room in UIKit than we are in Swift UI. I'm not sure why that is. Oh, there's a hidden view in there. Oh man, I am a genius. Uh, okay, so I guess the right move isn't to worry so much about the exact numbers. We're gonna have to go more by the feel here. Looks like there's a whole um, standard margin plus one in there. That's six plus what is this? 6 plus 16 plus 1 is like 23. Like it's a little too much space. Let's go back down to 20. I guess we want to recreate it uh, as intended, but also this is as we're rewriting it is an opportunity to improve the feel. I feel like that's a good cadence. Wonderful. with that cadence. I'm not sure what the plan for this is. Like, yes, I want to embrace iOS 16. I feel like it really enables Swift UI. I guess, as we were telling the other viewer earlier, is just try things out and see how it goes. I guess for an app this big, it's kind of it's kind of a big project, right? Um, I almost wonder if I should have like two parallel apps, like for each screen. Um, like here's the main screens of the app. Like if I make a like a Swift UI screens group, and then it's maybe a little bit easier to select one or the other. They probably can't really require iOS 16 the day that it comes out. Um, Being an indie dev, I do feel like that is something I do want to embrace is the new versions of iOS. So I guess like I could have two sets of screens. I could have like really just two roots. And I guess for this transition, we're still gonna have the navigation in UIKit for a while, right? I'm covering up the current task. It's like how we go about incorporating Swift UI. I mean, it's just so much simpler than I mean, I guess it's also like we haven't re-implemented everything. Like we haven't done the spotlight or anything like that. Um, this was very good exploration. I'm very happy with how it looks. Like we can define func update all this. And then we can have a so we have that like refresh service, right? Uh, and have like notification center dot default dot publisher for what is it? I think we have like this dot notifications dot refresh. Something like that. We sit here and wait. We should see things slowly update themselves. Oh, nice. We just saw one. Waiting for one more. Nice. We got another one there. We can do another on receive for when the app uh, receives new data. And this is, let's see, let's just cheat a little bit and look at the Swift UI version. Was that the only one that it's isn't there another one for when we download a new feed? Um, no, not that one. Um, oh, I guess we can just see everywhere this is used. So we have a bunch of people listening to it. We have anyone hosting it? This isn't the service I'm thinking of. Um, just have notifications. Yeah, there's still info available. This is what I want to listen for. Oh, we still need pull to refresh, I guess. Oh, and the tapping, of course. But we could probably make like a view modifier to handle all these on the first load, and then when we do a UI refresh, when we do a feed refresh. And I guess what would be really nice is if we could do this with Outgrid, if we could do this like with lazy vgrid. Because then we wouldn't need to require iOS 16. All right, this needs a close paren. That's working. Working. Yeah, because I guess that sort of addresses like one fear of like I do want to keep the app like alive. I do want to explore iOS 16 and also like be making updates to the app, before September. Um, yeah, I feel like every year there's new stuff in iOS, and I'm gonna require it right away, and then there's still people with that don't update right away that are still need to get relevant updates when the MTA changes something drastic. I guess the main thing is that task isn't where is it? This thing isn't um, this requires iOS 15. It's like, should I just require iOS 16 because I'm making a new version bump, or what? I mean, I guess one of the things that was holding me back from doing SwiftUI for this screen in particular was like, what if I needed to do some of those extensive layout stuff? Like, as I was showing you earlier, the um, the arrivals collection view um, has its own custom layout. Oops. Um, its own custom UI collection view layout. I'm doing like all this math here. I guess it's down to 70 lines, but still, that was a lot of pain and heartache just to get the cells to look right. And in Swift UI, like, look at this. this this is the layout code. This is the layout code for the cells. This is where we put the cells. A grid of 2 columns. It's freaking amazing compared to computing the size of the collection view, layout attributes, getting a cell, the cell size. Um, it's at least 100 times better, if not 150 times better. Um, yeah, the innards of the cell are a little gnarly, but we're doing very precise spacing. It's, it's it's kind of fine. What do we do here? Uh, spacing cleanup. Uh, see, got about 7 minutes left of the stream. Um, this would be single dot. We need to know our current app root. Oof. And that could be put on in the environment. So I guess here we want the train ID, huh? Help the spacing at all? But it's right there. Oh, it's missing a close paren, and this has an extra paren. Okay, there we go. Cool. So now we just need those environment values. Um, yeah, I think once I define that, fine. Where should I put all this code? Let's see, so this could be uh, environment values, I guess. And we can make a new key. Default value. Oh no, I don't want a default value. Oh, I guess I have I have a default. Perfect. And then don't I have to do like a get or set or something? I guess I need I guess I need to remember how to do this. I think I did that right. What's the problem? Self, yeah. Garbage checked environment key. Environment values, yeah. Environment values. Oh, is it not static? Is it just a var? Oh, okay. And then back on arrivals view, build failed. Trying to isolate where the error is. And open to open. That looks right. I'm closing widget parameter past the type horizontal alignment. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's at least it's a better error. Origin cannot be constructed. Um, Damn, how did I do this? Let's get the router. Oh, it's an enum. Okay. Hey, it works. And then we should pass in the app root to the environment. And that is all rivals view controllers. Does this have access to the app root? It does. So when it creates it, which is here, it can say dot environment approot is approot. Yay. The spacing here is something else, isn't it? Like this is kind of an eyesore to read. But it works. See, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's tap on something. Let's see what the app root is. Is it coming through? Yep. We're at Times Square. Cool. What was the change here? Oh, the environment. And let's try to set this back to 14. And this is going to fail because of that mask thing. Wait, what? What task was iOS 15 only? Uh, yeah, this thing. Yeah, it says iOS 15 only. There you go. There's the error. You could change it to on appear, I guess. It's doing a full rebuild. Oh wow, we're over time for the stream. Let's just see if this builds. Cool. Let's commit that. 14 support. What we're gonna do. But again, we found out that we can. Found out we can and easily do all arrivals in Swift UI. We didn't need iOS 16 only features. On appear over task was fine, and lazy v stack over grid was also fine. So like we could like convert the app to Swift UI. Like this was the screen I was most nervous about. But I guess there's still the map view and the trip view might be a little spicy. I think everything else won't really need a layout. Well, I guess the favorites view, there's some sweet layout there. But yeah, I think that's it for today's stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the new follows and all the questions. I'm here to help you learn Swift and programming live, doing live coaching, live coding of your questions. You can see the tip menu if you type in, there's the menu command, and there's also the perks command. If you subscribe, you'll get access to the code for viewer questions. If you're watching on YouTube, you can use, do I have a Ko-Fi command? I don't have a Ko-Fi command yet, but you can see the link to my Ko-Fi on fullqdeveloper.com. If you need perks, you can get them through there also. And if you have Amazon Prime, please remember to use your free Amazon Prime subscription. If not on me, on another creator. It would mean the world to them or to me. It's no extra money out of your pocket, and it really helps a creator. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.